Hi, my dear beautiful couples. Today I have one important message for you. I heard it in one video, and this sentence really resonated with me. So, the sentence is that why are we human beings in a relationships? Because we need to share. And when I heard this, it was like small child getting a gift. Yeah, it's true. It's so true. We need to share love, we need to share sadness, we need to share our anger sometimes, we need to share information, we need to share joy. It's really different if you share. And but I will add to this sentence something else. For me, it's important to share and to live in a relationship as two wholes together. What this means? I lived in previous relationships like half. I always expect something from the other person. I was like, I put a lot of burden of my own on another person. I wanted to change them. I wanted that they live as I was thinking it's right. But not, this was not a great path, and that's why I divorced in my first marriage, because I didn't just share. But now I learned, you know what? I learned through self love. When I started to love myself, really, really love myself, not just with words, but with actions, with emotions, with everything. And when I start to praise myself, when I start to really accept myself as I am right now in this moment, then something magical happened. And I manifested Gregor, my husband, and I manifested these really great relationships over the years. Because not just intimate relationship with Gregor, but relationship with my daughter, with my son, with my parents. It's so different because now I finally got what is important in relationship. It's just sharing, because sharing is caring, and sharing my time, sharing my hugs, sharing my experience, sharing my, I don't know, needs, my feelings, my thoughts, everything. But it's important that I don't put all of this on another person, that I just share without expectations. And I will tell you now this little story which happened now in front of the house when I was cleaning the house, and I was in front of the house, and one neighbor came and he said, "Oh my God, here here is so different now. Many new houses, everything's so changed. But I'm here like 75 years. I'm neighbor. I'm living practically few meters in that road." And I said, and I was just laughing, and I just listened to him, and then he looked at my eyes and said, many years ago there was just a grass here. And I said, "Oh, I know, because I was little and I was playing with my cousins." And I said, when I was at that age, I don't know, 6, 7, I said, "Here I will have my own house on this grass." And he just smiled, and he asked me, "What is my surname?" And I said, "Yes, my family is living here across the road, and on the other side is my cousin and my uncle, and everybody is here. But this was my choice, I wanted to be here." And he shared this small information, but he was so happy to share this. He and he made me happy as well, because I shared with him what I manifested when I was a child. And it was amazing feeling. And that's why we are in relationship. And that's why I encourage all of you who are alone that you step into a relationship. Even if you are afraid, even if you have high expectations, even if you don't believe in yourself that you are worthy of somebody that you will share with your life. Because it's so different. Just imagine if you will now, let's say, get a lot of money on a lottery. How different this is if you win this money and come home, and in your house there is a person with whom you are sharing your life, and you will share this money, and you will go on trips, and you will reserve the ticket for first class, and you will share with that person all of this. Or if you are alone and you go in your house and you don't have somebody to share it with, it's really different if you can share. And this is why human beings need relationships, because we want to share. We are so joyful if we share. But of course, as I said earlier, it's important that we share in a healthy way, that we don't steal each other energy, and that we don't put a burden on somebody else, but we just share. Simply we share. So think about it now in your life. Are you sharing, or are you in a relationship when you have nobody to share it with? On the other side, the person is practically living their own life. I understand that because I inspired people to host together, but to host together, not separately, And just check if you have somebody in your life and he or she doesn't want to share, then you go somewhere that you will share. You can go to a therapist or some coach, and you can share. You can share what you want to share with another person in your life. And you will see the whole new world will open for you. And then you will start making choices, because it's your life. And you always can upgrade your relationships. That's why I'm doing programs for couples, not just intimate couples, but as well daughters and other family members, friends. It's so much fun when you come together on a program and when you are working together through something. That's why we need somebody to share. And this is so nice. And the life, it becomes so different if you have somebody to share it with. Friends, your spouse, your daughter, your kids in general, or somebody else. And when I will tell you one more thing before I end this video. My relationship with my daughter and my son has really I upgraded this relationship. How? I started to share, and I limited expectation, and I started to listen, and I started to understand. And this is so different. I'm so different mom than I used to be in my early years of being mom, because I really put this formula to host together in every relationship I have. Yeah. and I started to share. That's why we are in a relationship. Think about it. Think about it now when you will turn off this video. Think about it if you are in a relationship when you can share a lot. If you are not, then start sharing, or start choosing differently.